Hi, I'm Phil.
And I'm Kate.
And this is The Underground, live from Glee 2024.
Woo.
So without further ado,
let's get down and dirty. So welcome to The Underground, Kim O'Brien.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for coming. So Kim is also known as Dhaliafarmerama. Kim has lots and lots of hats on, and today she's going to tell us a little bit about herself and what brings her to Glee. So welcome, Kim, again.
Thank you so much, both. It's lovely to be here.
Lovely.
Yeah,
so
lovely to
can
have you.
You tell us a little bit about your background and what got you into horticulture in the first place?
Yeah, so my background is just that when I was a kid, my mum got me into gardening.
Brilliant.
As long as I can remember, as soon as I could hold a trowel, I was out there digging in the dirt, getting down and dirty, and sowing the seeds. And my mum would show me everything and teach me everything. My mum's a great horticulturalist.
Brilliant.
And she would just explain it and teach me all the names and just like pique that curiosity and that fascination, really. But it wasn't just being outside as well. She also had a huge indoor houseplant collection as well.
Lucky you.
Yeah, so I sort of, she showed me how to propagate and how to care for the indoor plants as well. So yeah, I've sort of seen both the indoor and the outside, because obviously there's no such thing as indoor plants in the real world, is there?
That's right.
So
in the UK, yes.
So she would teach me, that actually at certain times of the year, get them outside, get them breathing, getting that fresh air and that light. So yeah, all these things. So that's what got me into horticulture. And then I was growing dahlias. I've grown dahlias for about 24 years. They are my absolute passion. And
so before they became
I've been through
again.
I've been through they were sort of just finishing being trendy, and then I went through the slump.
But you always loved them
through it, and out the other end, and now they've had a revival, which is wonderful to see.
Absolutely. So I'm going to ask you the question that's on everybody's lips. Where did the name Dhaliafarmerama come from?
Well, somebody just said to me that I should set up an Instagram account. It was mainly because I was spamming everybody on my Facebook account with dahlias, and then someone was saying, it's lovely, but do you think you could set up a separate account for this?
Right.
So that's where it came from. But the name was just, obviously it had to be something dahlia, and I was dahlia farming, so it was Dahlia Farmer, but I thought Dahlia Farmer's a bit dry. Let's inject a bit of fun, so I put the Rama on the end. It's like banana Rama, but more fun because it's dahlias.
Dahlias. So you actually do, is it a business? You sell dahlias?
Yes.
Right,
so
and that is what you do?
Yes, so that's one of the things that I do. One of the many hats that I wear. It has taken a bit of a back seat this year because I've been doing garden design as well.
Yes, more of that to come.
Yeah, but I've been, so I've got, and I've got a garden. It started with the garden, and then it grew to a garden and an allotment.
Right.
And that wasn't enough, because like 50 dahlias in an allotment, I couldn't do what I needed to do. Obviously, I needed 2,000 dahlias in a field. So that's kind of where it's gone. So I grow cut flowers commercially to supply to florists. I'm a florist as well myself. So I grew it for my own floristry business and for my own joy. But I do supply, because I had surplus, obviously, I supply them.
Right.
So what size field have you got? I mean,
it's small. It's only about a third of an acre.
Okay.
Yeah,
but that is just cut flowers,
it's
dahlias,
just cut
and other
just
flowers.
dahlias. Yeah,
beautiful. I'd love to come and visit. Now, Phil, I'm sorry, I am just going to get a bit dahlia'd out here.
All right.
So, what is it about dahlias that you love? What is it about them?
Do you know what? It's just their inherent beauty. I think you just can't look at a dahlia without feeling uplifted. Yeah. It's their form. They come in so many forms. You've got the anemones, you've got the cactus dahlias, the decoratives, the double decoratives. I could go on and on listing all the different types of dahlias. And then when you put into the mix that they come in so many different colours as well. The pom-poms, the balls, you get them in every colour and every shade. And then they just, when you think you've seen it all, they introduce a new one into the market. And you think, oh, that looks good, So it's just an obsession, really. It was a hobby that grew into an obsession.
It's a good obsession to have. And actually I learned something very that I didn't know from Kim a while ago on, thanks to Instagram, is I was one of those guilty of saying only get a single flowering dahlia if you want, pollinators, because dahlias, which have got all the all the frou-frou, aren't good for pollinators.
Frou-frou, is that a technical term?
Yeah, actually, I learned that on my RHS. And just to be told that actually, no, Kate, you and many others are wrong, because do you want to just tell us? It's fascinating.
Well, it's just if you leave them, they will blow open. So the centres, what that means is the centres will blow open and reveal everything that the bees need and the pollinators need. So if you don't deadhead them, if you can bear to live with a few deadheads and you don't cut them, or you don't cut them to bring into the house, just let those centres blow open, and even the most heavily double frilled, double frou-frued decoratives. I'm so stealing that term now. Even they will blow open and reveal their centres.
Yeah, and I've done that this year for the first time, thanks to Kim, and it works.
And it's
and I like them. I think they look really cute like that. It's so different. I mean, I don't have a field. I just have a small garden with a few pots. But I've definitely left them to go over. Amazing. I mean, I still love my singles, my Star Wars and those kind of ones. But I feel I can now grow more, over the top blooms now and leave them for my bees.
Fantastic. So, Kim, what brings you to Glee this year?
So, I am a committee member of the Garden Media Guild.
Okay. Right.
So I wanted to come with my garden media hat on and come as garden press and have a look round with, and connect with people in that way. And then the other thing that I'd want to do really, really importantly is I am an ambassador for Green Fingers charity, and they are here as well. They have a stand over there. Yep. And it's just really important just to get the message of who Green Fingers are, what they do, what the charity does out there. And
so as an ambassador, what is it that you do to kind of help with Green Fingers?
Well, there's different ways that you can help as an ambassador. You can either be hands-on in helping to build the gardens, plant the gardens, design the gardens.
Oh, right.
There's lots of different ways. I've seemed to have naturally sort of veered towards fundraising.
Right. Okay.
So I feel that that's one of my strengths. Mm-hmm. So I have been promoting them on Instagram. We had the Garden Grand Ball back in March as well, which was along with Jamie and Catherine. We organised that. So, it's just kind of for me, it's promoting them. It's the PR, it's getting them known and letting people know who they are and what they do.
Fantastic. And you do all this for free, don't you?
Oh, it's all entirely voluntary. Yeah. It's not done with any expectation of anything in return. But,
wonderful.
It's not as altruistic as you think, because when you see the benefits of what they do and can I just explain what they do?
Yes.
So they are they build gardens in hospices, and they're hospices for children. So children and their families, so children who are end of life or life limited, they have a space to go, which is a warm space, a welcoming space, a colourful space, a peaceful space, a relaxing space. It could be a space to play in, a space for them to play with their brothers and sisters in, and just have that great outdoors experience that so many people take for granted. How much more important is it in that very, very difficult situation? So they have provided to date, I think it's almost 80 gardens nationwide.
It
is incredible, the difference that it makes. So to say that I do it for nothing, well, I don't do it for any monetary reason or anything like that, but I get the joy of knowing that it's helping so many people, which is, that's the reward, really.
Fantastic. We have had Linda from Green Fingers on the show, she's just amazing. And we'll be here Floral Thursday with our floral finest as well.
Absolutely. Flowery dresses at the ready.
Exactly. So going back to where you were saying when you come to Glee with your Garden Media Guild hat on.
Yes.
So what are the things that you're going to be looking at around the show? Is there anything that you've come and you go, actually, I'd quite like to see something?
Well, just looking at new products really as well, and just is there anything that I can write about? Is there anything that I believe is going to make a difference? I have a huge passion for the environment,
Right.
and I've always gardened organically. That's something my mum even 40 years ago when she was teaching me to garden, she's never sprayed anything, she's never put a slug pellet down, even when it was very fashionable to do that. She's always said there's alternatives and showed me there's alternatives. So I'm very passionate about that. So if there's any products here that I really believe are championing the peat free and ecologically friendly and pesticide free gardening, or even anything innovative which just hasn't been thought of before, those are the things that I'm looking out for.
So do you feel that a lot of kind of gardeners and horticulturists give this show a bit of a miss because I think it's more kind of trade and stick to the kind of flower shows, Gardeners World Live and Chelsea? What would you say to kind of people like yourself? Do you think you should persuade them to come up to Glee?
Quite possibly, yes. I mean, I've not been to Glee before. This is my first time, so I didn't know what to expect.
Oh, right. Didn't know that.
So I just came here with an open mind.
Great.
And I've only been here for a couple of hours.
Yeah, we grabbed you.
But what I can say is, based on what I've seen so far, I would encourage people, if you like, if you're into gardening, definitely come along, because there's products here that are innovative. There's things here that do look like they're worth investigating and worth trialing in your own garden, and things that you might not have seen before. And just having that conversation with somebody, you just don't know where that's going to lead and what can come out of it. So it's definitely worth coming.
Oh, great.
But keep going to the flower shows as well.
Absolutely. Well, actually, talking about the flower shows, Phil, sorry, I'm taking over here a bit. You designed Gardeners World Live this year, gold winning, is that right?
So the gold medal was at Audley End House last autumn.
Last autumn, right.
Yes. And then it was a silver merit this in Birmingham at Live after a category change. Beautiful borders. So it was, there was a bit of drama.
Okay.
We were
the goss.
the inside scoop.
Yep.
We designed as a beautiful border category,
right?
And we built it as a beautiful border category and planned it like that as well,
as you would.
And then the day before judging, we were told that if we wanted to change to the showcase gardens category, it had a totally different set of judging criteria.
Right.
We could. It was a little bit risky, but we built the garden. It looked beautiful, and suddenly we're in a category where there's people who are being judged on the same. We're being judged on the same criteria as people who've been there for nearly 3 weeks, and they've been there with the excavators and the cranes and the teams of landscapers. And we sort of rocked up 4 days before with a couple of trowels and a couple of spades. But we managed to pull a silver merit out of the bag.
Amazing.
So we were thrilled with that. Absolutely over the moon.
Will you do
Credit
it again?
to my team.
Will you do it next year?
I don't know if I'll do it next year. I'll definitely do it again because I think once you've designed a garden, you do get the bug.
Yeah.
But I've done 2 show gardens now in 10 months, and it was a lot.
That's a lot. Yeah.
So and it took a lot of energy, and I know that my field has taken a hit because I had to channel some of my energy into prepping show gardens. So.
Back to the day job.
Yeah, quite possibly, just for a bit, for now.
Yeah, so what happens to the gardens after the shows?
So the one at Birmingham, that was dismantled. We sold off the plants at the show, and then the paving, so the hard landscaping, that was very kindly donated by Arbor Landscaping. They donated that because they're closely linked with Green Fingers charity, and that is currently being held, and it's being put into a design that will then go to a Green Fingers hospice garden.
That's great. That's good news.
Yeah. So we were thrilled when Linda said that we could do that.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah, so I've got a question going back to what you were saying about the fact that it was your mum who's taught you so much.
Yeah, it's all her fault.
Yeah. So where did she learn from? Because I mean, that's, sounds like an amazing person.
She is an amazing person. She's very knowledgeable horticulturally, and I've learned so much from her. She has learned from, I think it must have just been from her parents.
So she's self-taught.
Yeah, she's self-taught. I can remember going to my grandparents' house when I was just as soon as I could stand, and just having that perspective of having like poppies towering above me, and just thinking, wow, this is heaven. And I used to absolutely love going to visiting my grandparents' garden because it was always so beautiful. So I imagine it was from them.
Yeah, definitely. So is your field, is that open to the public, or are you just strictly?
No, it's not. I don't have the insurance to open it to the public.
Course, yeah.
So it's a piece of land that's very kindly been lent to me by some good friends. They've lent me the use of it. So
well, that's useful, isn't it?
It is.
But we see a lot of it on your Instagram account as Dhaliafarmerama, which is a fabulous account to follow. If you don't already, do follow that.
Thank you.
Yeah, very inspiring and fun as well.
Yeah, you've got to have fun with it, haven't you? I think it's important not to take life too seriously.
Yep.
So do you find that the horticultural world and the garden retail world, it works well together? Do you know what I mean? Is there
I know what you mean. They kind of exist as two separate entities in a way, don't they?
Yeah.
That's a really good question, because really one can't exist without the other.
Absolutely.
But I think they are seen as separate entities.
Definitely. I think that's why I talked about the difference in the shows as well.
Yes.
You tend not to get the same people going to the shows, but actually what's coming from somewhere like Glee is feeding the people who do the shows, the garden designers, the people that are buying the plants. At the end of the day, it should all be one, shouldn't it?
It should be. But I suppose that, people who come to Glee, they perhaps have the more sort of business interest side of it, whereas somebody who's going to a garden show, it might just be they want to prettify their garden.
Very true.
And both are very valid.
Yes, absolutely.
Absolutely, yes. And so have you actually while you've been here, have you spotted any of the products that you mentioned, you were possibly looking for things which were more sustainable and eco-friendly type products and that sort of thing? Have you spotted some?
I have. There's a very interesting stand called Jeremy Grains. I hope I pronounced that correctly.
Yeah.
Yes. So
Eric.
So I met Eric. back in February.
Was that the Garden Press event? Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes. And he has these cells for growing.
So it's a seed starter kit.
They're seed starter kits, but they're space saving, which I thought was really interesting idea, because when you have so many seeds to sow, space can be of a premium, can't it? Yeah. So I did try some of those this year, and I got on very well with them actually.
Okay.
So he's got those again, but I was just chatting with him briefly. We kind of got. I've got to go back and speak to him again, but he's showing me he's got something like electrodes. I'm not sure exactly what they are. They look like electrodes that you put into the soil, and it will tell you, your potassium, nitrogen.
Right, it's the soil testing.
Exactly, it's a soil testing kit. Just putting
and more.
Exactly, and more.
He's constantly innovating.
Very, very innovative. Very innovative. And then he's got the cells, the seed starting kit that he had before. He's now got a heat pad to stand it on with a grow lamp over the top of it. It's
wonderful.
Wonderful, yeah. Looks really good. I'm going to go back and have a proper look at it. But
and reusable as well. So, I mean, that's one of the things about seed trays, they wear out, but his kits, they're reusable. You use them year in, year out.
Exactly.
There is a lot of waste, isn't there, in the garden industry, unfortunately.
There is.
A lot of plastic waste.
There is. And it comes, although they are moulded plastic, that's it. Once you've got them.
You've got them for life.
You've got them for life. And it comes back to that sustainability idea that I like. So, yeah.
No, excellent. And we're big fans of Jeremy as well. So
oh, good. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, we hope to get him on. Well, I think that probably wraps it up for our Glee chat with you, Kim, if that's all right. If there's anything else you want to talk about, then please do, that you don't think we've covered.
No, I think that's everything. Thank you.
Hope you have a good fun look around the rest of the show and find some good products to write about.
Yeah, and we look forward to seeing some posts about the show as well. I'm sure you'll be putting a few up there.
Yeah, post some reels. Yeah.
Wonderful.
Fantastic. Well, thanks so much.
Thank you so much for inviting me on. It's been a pleasure.
No, it's been lovely. Thanks, Kim.
Thanks, Kim.